everyone. I am so glad you joined me today. This is my very first cooking show on YouTube. I am Marla, the Chef in Red, and I hope to inspire you in the kitchen. A little bit about myself. I am married for almost 30 years. I have 4 children, ages 26 to 18, and I love to cook. I love to actually do a lot of things, but cooking has been a passion of mine all my life. And I have some easy recipes. I have some recipes that I want to show you to inspire you in the kitchen. I hope to bring you joy as you watch this video. Maybe you're having a hard day and you can turn me on and forget your troubles of the day for a few minutes. So one of the things I love to do is I love to cook with what's abundant in the season. And I'm from Ohio, so I'm going to be cooking with zucchini today. And for my first video, I thought I'd just try something that is, I thought I'd show something that's easy and delicious. This is something my family loves. It's good. It's not only delicious, but it's good for you. And in Ohio, where I'm from, in Cleveland, in August, we'll be having lots and lots of zucchini. Zucchini is very easy to grow here. I grow it by seed every year just by putting a simple zucchini seed in the soil, and boom, I have zucchini. So real easy to grow. And zucchini, in case you didn't know, is really nutritious. The nice thing about zucchini is that it has more potassium than bananas. It's got a very bland flavor, so it's easy to add to other dishes because you're going to add nutrition without changing flavor. You can eat zucchini raw, and I put this in fresh salads. I just slice it very thin. It's just another way to get some additional nutrition in things without changing flavor. I also have an amazing cake that I actually make with zucchini. Now, as you'll see, this is a pretty small zucchini, and that's what you want to cook with. You do want to use the smaller zucchinis. I know in the garden sometimes I'll see a zucchini hidden and it's huge, and I'll still use that, but actually the smaller zucchinis are the most nutritious ones, so you want to keep that in mind. Some zucchini recipes are going to call for you to peel the zucchini, but some don't call to peel it, and if you can keep that peel on, you're going to even get extra nutrition. For our zucchini fritters today, we do not have to peel the zucchini, we just want to wash it off. Now, I just got back from Italy in June, and in June, in southern Italy, where my family's from, they had tons of zucchini ready. And you may not know this, I don't think I've ever had a friend that has actually known this, but you can actually eat the yellow flowers. The zucchini blossoms are very nutritious. My aunt in Italy puts them in everything. Growing up, we always had fried zucchini blossoms. You make like a batter, almost like a pancake batter, and you fry them, and they're delicious. It's actually a delicacy. I will be showing fried zucchini blossoms on one of my cooking shows, so you have to come back to see that. And I'll also be showing the chocolate espresso zucchini cake. So I have lots of great videos planned. I don't always cook Italian. I do love Italian cooking, but I've learned how to make French macarons, and they're different than the traditional American macaron, or I don't even know if it's American, but the coconut ones. That's not what I'm going to be making. I'm going to be making those delicate French pastry ones, and I'll show you at the end of this video because I have some that I've already made, but I'm going to do a video on that too. And I just self-taught myself how to make those because you know what, they're usually $2 to $3 each in the stores, and so I taught myself to make them, and they cost about 25 cents each to make. So lots of great things in store, so you'll have to come back and check out my YouTube cooking channel. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I told you already that zucchini is more nutritious than bananas, more potassium, I should say. But zucchini came to came to the United States in about the 1920s. Italians brought zucchinis over. In fact, I think my cousin Guido was the first one to ever bring a zucchini to the United States. But actually in about the 1920s was when my family came over from Italy, so who knows, maybe they did bring some zucchini over. The largest zucchini, though, was 69 pounds. Can you imagine a 69-pound zucchini? That was the largest one. And zucchini comes from the word zucca, which means squash in Italian. So that's just a little bit about zucchini, but they're a great dish. And also, I also make a zucchini parmesan. So instead of using eggplant, which I love eggplant, but because I get so much zucchini in my garden, I will also make zucchini parmesan. All right, so the first thing in order to make this recipe is you need to grate your zucchini. So I absolutely love this grater. This grater is from the Pampered Chef, and it's a real simple grater. It's not metal, it's plastic, so you don't have to worry about anybody getting cut or anything on it. And I do sell Pampered Chef as well because I love their products. So if there's anything you need, you can let me know. But I love this, and I do a lot of grating with this, whether it be potatoes or carrots, cheese. I use it for everything. So I've already grated about 1.5 pounds of zucchini, but I just wanted to show you how this works. So you just put whatever you're grating right over your bowl, and that's it. It's real simple, and you can go all the way down without getting hurt. And I have all that zucchini already grated. So I love this product. Works out really, really well. Simple little product in the kitchen. And when you're done grating your zucchini, you want to let it sit in a colander for about 10 minutes because there can be a lot of moisture in the zucchini. So you want to let it sit for about 10 minutes, get extra moisture out, and then after it's done sitting for about 10 minutes, you want to just go ahead and get a thin dishcloth. You can use cheesecloth, but a thin dish towel works just as well. And then what you want to do, I'm just going to go ahead and use this too, is you just want to, and this zucchini was fairly dry, and like I said, I've already let it sit out for 10 minutes, so I'm not actually, well, in the towel itself, it's getting filled. Yeah, you can see there's additional moisture here from the zucchini. So you just want to give that a squeeze, because you want to get all that water out of your zucchini. So you just work it like that, get all that additional moisture out. And that's about the hardest thing in this entire recipe, because this recipe is very, very easy to make. Okay, so we got the additional water out. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this out. You actually could use that zucchini juice in a smoothie if you wanted. You could actually use that and put it in a put it in a smoothie and get some extra nutrition there. So once you've got your zucchini drained and dried, go ahead and just put it in your bowl. And this towel is really wet, so you can see how much moisture was in there. Okay. All right, so now that our zucchini is all dry and in the bowl, the next thing I'm going to do is add the other ingredients. So we need 1 beaten egg. We need 1/4 cup of flour. We also needed 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Now, for Parmesan cheese, I never use the stuff in the green can. And the reason is because you don't get the flavor or the nutrition that you get when you just use a fresh chunk of Parmesan cheese. And I want to show you something. I think this is pretty amazing. Some people think that the fresh Parmesan cheese, like a chunk of it, is more expensive than the stuff in the green can, and it's actually not. And I'll show you why. You're going to get so much cheese just from a little piece of it. So let me show you. I'm going to just slice, that's a really small little piece of cheese. This is a grater. You can use any kind of grater you want. I particularly really like this one. I grate all kinds of things, fresh nutmeg. You can put chocolate chips in here and grate that over a fancy, cup of coffee or something. But you just put your little piece of cheese in there and put the little plastic part on top. And I'm going to show you how much cheese I got. So I only grated maybe about half of that little piece of Parmesan cheese. And yet, look how much cheese I got from that little piece of Parmesan cheese. So it actually took a very small chunk of Parmesan cheese to get my 1/4 cup of cheese. And then you need 1/4 cup of flour. Now, this is actually oat flour. I've been using oat flour in a lot of my dishes just to, because I keep meeting people that are gluten-free, and for me, the big thing is taste. I refuse to give up taste. I think that food, if it doesn't taste good, who's going to eat it, right? Especially when you have kids. So I have found, though, that substituting oat flour for regular wheat flour has worked out really well. So we're going to use 1/4 cup of oat flour. Now, you can get oat flour I usually get it from one of our Amish stores, but you can make your own oat flour just by grinding oatmeal if you have a Vitamix. And like I said, if that's too much work or if you're not interested, just go ahead and use 1/4 cup of regular white flour. You're fine with that. Okay, so let's see. The other thing we need is some garlic. And I'm going to talk about garlic while these are cooking. I'm going to teach you how to go ahead and have your own fresh garlic from your garden. I grow garlic every year. It's so simple to do. People are like, you grow garlic? And yeah, you can. You can too. So I love this garlic press. It's got a nice large hopper. Go ahead and put 2 pieces of garlic in there. Out comes the garlic, all minced. When I open up the hopper, there's my skin. So I didn't have to take that. And I didn't have to take that off. Anyone who works with garlic knows the most tedious thing is getting the skin off. So I love a garlic press where you put the whole clove in with the skin and everything. Okay. Let me see. And then we have our garlic, our flour. So we have all of our ingredients. So it's really simple. And then we're just going to go ahead and mix this together. So there's not many ingredients in here. And I was talking about those zucchini blossoms earlier. The zucchini blossoms, you can, like I said, fry them. They taste really good. You can stuff them. You can stuff them. My aunt, when I just got, from Italy, she had put a piece of cheese in each zucchini blossom. You can put ham, you can put cheese, you can put prosciutto, or you don't have to put anything, and you just dip them in the batter and go ahead and fry them. But you can eat them raw, so not that you're going to do that, but that's how healthy they are. You can go ahead and eat them that way. But what my aunt would do is she would just chop up the zucchini flowers and she put them in her pasta. She put them in all her dishes as just an additional way to get some nutrition. And a lot of people think if you pick the blossoms, you're not going to have any zucchinis, but that's not true. You just have to leave a few blossoms on there and you'll still get your zucchinis. Okay, so I want to mix this well because there's a lot of zucchini in here. I want to get that egg in here and the flour incorporated. We're going to go ahead and add a few fresh seasonings. I have some garlic chives here, which are really easy to grow, and actually these come back every year. I just grow these in a pot, and they stay on my deck through the winter, and then I don't have to cover them or anything. And the next summer, they grow again. They have beautiful purple blossoms at the top. And so once you plant those chives, they're going to come back every year. You can grow onion chives. You can grow any kind you like. All right, so then I also always grow some fresh basil, and I also always grow parsley in my garden. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll this together and then just use some kitchen shears and put that in here. Now this is just my own addition. I think that adding fresh herbs to recipes just makes it taste so much better. I don't have this measured. As you can see, when you're adding fresh herbs, you don't have to use as much as the dried. But if you didn't have fresh herbs, I would say go ahead and use like a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, okay? So, and as I do that, wow, you can really smell the fresh herbs. It just adds so much flavor, it adds nutrition, and they're easy to grow. So I encourage you to grow some fresh herbs. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients in here. Now all we need to do is saute this. Now some zucchini fritters are like deep fried or cooked in a lot of oil. I don't think you need to do that. You can just simply saute your zucchini fritters, and I'm just going to get like a big spoonful and put it down here. And these cook just a couple minutes per side. It makes quite a few, so this is an excellent side dish. And since you can get zucchini in the grocery store year-round, this doesn't have to be just a recipe that you would make in the summertime. You can make this year-round. I like to make it a lot in the summertime because I do grow zucchini, so I have a lot of extra. Once this is done, I love to serve it with some sour cream and green onions, or I just make up a simple salsa with some freshly diced tomatoes and some more seasonings in my salsa, and it tastes delicious. And so it's just a great way to get some veggies, additional vegetables on your table. Okay, so those are going to just brown on each side, and then you can enjoy them. So while that's browning, I want to talk a little bit about garlic. Now I picked this right before I came, so you can see it's not a very large head of garlic, but it's still garlic that I did grow. And then this at the very end is a garlic scape, okay? So what you do to plant your own garlic is in October. Now I'm talking for my region of Ohio. I live in the Cleveland area. So in the beginning of October, I'll just take 1 clove of garlic. A head of garlic is when all the cloves are put together. So I'll just take 1 clove of garlic, I'll put it in the ground about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and that's it. You don't have to take the skin off or anything, just put it right in. What's going to happen is that garlic is going to grow. You plant it in October, you'll start seeing it come up in the spring, and so it'll come up with your daffodils and all your other flowers. And then in about July or August, you'll be ready to pick your garlic, and you'll just pull that right out. Now, how you'll know it's ready to pick is because this beautiful garlic scape is going to grow on the end. Now, let me show you what this garlic scape looks like. You have all these beautiful little, and each one of these is called a garlic scape. And they smell delicious, and they're actually a delicacy. And they taste like garlic, a little subtle, but you can actually chop these up and use these in your recipes. Okay, so that's called a garlic scape. And then when you pull it out, you'll have your head of garlic. Now normally when I pull the garlic out, I do have a much larger head of garlic, but this one is smaller, and I don't really know why. We probably have 4 or 5 cloves here. But for each garlic clove that you plant, for each one, you'll get 1 head of garlic. So if you plant 10 heads of garlic, 10 cloves of garlic, you'll have 10 heads, okay? So that's just a little bit about garlic. And let's see how this is looking. Okay. So these are just going to brown, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're done. I'll have it with some fresh sour cream and some fresh diced tomatoes. Okay, so we are finished cooking our zucchini fritters. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. Nicely browned, and I just diced up some tomatoes with some fresh herbs. But basically, when your zucchini are done, and you're only going to cook these a couple minutes on each side, you just want to have a plate with some paper towels, and you just want to blot those to get the excess oil off of your zucchini fritters. And we are sauteing these in olive oil. The important thing about olive oil is just not to let it get too hot so it doesn't smoke, but you're not going to do that when you're just sauteing. So get that extra oil off and go ahead and serve your zucchini fritters. You can top this with some more freshly grated Parmesan cheese, put a little bit of salt and pepper on. You can serve it with some sour cream and chives or sour cream and green onions. But you're ready. You have a beautiful side dish that is not only going to taste delicious, but it also looks delicious. So I hope you'll tune in to my next video. This is my first video. I want to thank my videographer who's going to be going off to University of Akron soon to study engineering. And I also want to thank my Barbara Richardson, who is the owner of Emerald and Violet in Olmsted Falls, for letting me use her beautiful kitchen. Thanks and have a great day.